Hello everybody, my name is Beth. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a book holiday. Hell yeah. Once again, Big W is doing their quarterly. I don't know how often they do like half price sales. I think once they have new stock and they're trying to get rid of their backlog, they will just do these half price sales to, you know, clear some room, have some space. And I wanted to buy more, but unfortunately a lot of the times when you buy specific books, they won't ship other books, and you kind of have to take items out and put items back in hopes that they will end up shipping to your location. And I could have placed a second order, but I could not be bothered. I only wanted one specific book in this particular sale. I think by the time I post this, the sale was still going on. So if you're from Australia, Big W half price sale is until the 13th. You probably have better chances if you go in person, but for me, unfortunately, my local Big W's are quite far away, and every single time I go, I actually was out on the first day that they dropped the sale, and I saw it in person. There was a lot of good books, they were in stock, but they were not the ones that I wanted, so I didn't get anything in person. I did film a video on TikTok, and if you want to take a look and have an idea of what you can possibly pick up. So this is actually a small order for me. I only picked up less than 10. I'm really shocked at myself, but I am currently like trying my best not to spend too much money, and also I'm on a kind of a tight budget. So I picked up 8 books, one of which is a coloring book, and I will show you the special spray edges, the one that I wanted, towards the end of the video as a grand finale, as a surprise. When I saw this, I was like livid because I used to work in this a meme on TikTok. It made me cringe a little, but at the same time it was funny. I'm Looking for a Man in Finance by Sabrina Waldorf. It's the relationship between a finance bro and a journalist. I would never buy this full price. When it first came out, I scoffed at it, I'm not gonna lie. Full disclosure, I used to work in this industry, and I also have a business degree, so this title hits me differently, but I was very intrigued, and this was half price, so there's that. I have, you know, I'm suffocating as I'm filming this video because I'm also filming this at like 3 a.m. in the morning, but what's new at this point? Next book that I picked up is Heart Check by Emily Charlotte. This book was located in the YA section online. I don't know if this is like a high school hockey romance. It is a high school hockey romance, it says there, so that explains why it's YA. I think that's the reason why I didn't pick this book up in my last haul, but I needed to hit free shipping this time around, and this was the only book that I could maneuver in my shopping cart that will make it shipped to me. I'm just letting you know, a book is the same price as shipping, so I might as well just add an additional book into my cart, and if I don't like this book, I can donate it in my local free library. And I feel good about donating this to my local free library because it's YA. Sometimes when I donate my adult contemporary romance, I cringe a little because I feel like there's a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and I really do not want them to pick up the books that I donate. But I've also seen some like adult contemporary romance, so I feel like there is a good variety. I just don't want a kid to pick it up. That's my biggest fear. So the next book I got was The Book of Blood and Roses by Anne Summerlee. Stunning, gorgeous. As the cover suggests, this is going to be about vampires. I think this is also sapphic. I picked this one up because it seemed interesting enough. I did do like brief research and summary on Goodreads to see like what the book is about before I put it in my cart, and it seemed like the type of book that I would be interested in, because the other ones, I bought these books because I wanted a specific book in this haul and I wanted to hit free shipping, but I also checked out other stuff to see like if I'll be interested in. Again, if I don't like these books, I think I can safely donate it somewhere. This seemed interesting enough. I've seen it in the last sale. I think it was still like relatively expensive, so I decided to pick this one up. And then the next book I got was To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. Why does this author seem so familiar? But anyway, I picked this one up. Again, I checked the reviews, they seem pretty decent, and this one is more fantasy, romanticy. I think this is also from the #1 Sunday Times bestseller of author When the Moon Hatched comes a dark fantasy inspired by Rapunzel. So that is for the reason why I picked it up. I have seen When the Moon Hatched like so many times on my feed. My local library also has it, that's why I haven't picked that one up. I think I'll read that before before I read this. So it's by the same author. So we have a Rapunzel retelling, which is one of my faves. So vampire and then Rapunzel. And I also have another fantasy book, which is The Poet's Empress by Chantal. Gorgeous, stunning. I'm diversifying my reading choices. I do read fantasy, but I do buy quite a bit of contemporary because they're just easily accessible and they're always on sale. That's why this time around I really did take a deep dive into like the fantasy section. Also, it's like AAPI month, so this is a great choice as an Asian girly myself. It talks about when Wei Ying, a peasant girl turned concubine to the cruel Prince Terran. To kill a monster, she must become one. A brutally romantic historical epic. Fantasy at its best. That was just like a quick blur from the other authors. It just sounds amazing, and this is a debut novel. So I have high hopes. Great read, potentially for AAPI month. Gotta be so honest, I most likely won't be able to read this in May, but it's nice to have. And then I also got The Ordeals by Rachel Green Law. All Magic New Power Contest to Die For. That alone just gives me Hunger Games vibes. Yeah, it's like talking about like competing in games to win favors and a cruel sadistic uncle. So I'm assuming like it's very typical fantasy. But yeah, it sounds fun. And last but not least, the special edition that I placed this order specifically for was the crossover. No, the Casanova by T.L. Swan. And I've already got the first 2 books in this collection in this specific like special spray edges paperback. My copy is unfortunately a little bit dented, but it's okay. Half price. Look how stunning it is. This is the 3rd book of the Mile High series, I think. However, the texture for these books are always like a bit weird for me. If you buy like indie Amazon books, that is the texture that you're gonna get, so you have to be very careful. I think the printing job for this is fantastic. This is like my favorite color scheme, so I did a lot of maneuvering just to collect this book. There's also like 2 more in the series, so 5 in total. So I got the Stopover, the Takeover, and this is the Casanova, so 3rd book in the series. I just need the Do-Over and the Miles Ever After, and then I'll be done with this collection. I'm very glad I never bought the indie version, which is like there's a man and it's like dark. There's nothing wrong with like a real life man in the cover, but I just prefer these. The watercolor art is really stunning. I hope the camera's doing it justice and picking it up and it's not focusing on me. I did change the settings, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to take a picture. But anyway, so contemporary romance. 1, 2, 3, 4 fantasy or romantasy. At least 3 of them is romantasy, and 1 of them is more fantasy than anything else. And then 1 YA contemporary hockey romance, and 1 kind of like a poor choice for me, for a meme. I laughed when this first came out, but I don't know if it's the best book for me personally to read because I was once surrounded by men like this in real life, so I don't know if I need to be reading about the fiction version of this. Maybe the fiction version will be a lot better than the ones that I experienced in real life. And if you're my ex-co-workers watching this, this isn't about you, but if the shoe fits. I hope you guys enjoyed this spontaneous small book haul from Big W. Actually no, there's 1 more left, I forgot. This is the coloring book that I got. Again, it was half price, so it's Cozy World Comfy Garden, and I think this was like $3, so it was originally $6. It's just like some coloring. Not to disrespect the illustrator, but $3 is just a lot more affordable than the other coloring books that are featured on TikTok. So it's still relatively cute, and I'm glad I bought it on sale. And there's like stickers that you can use in the front, which I will not use. You can take it out. There was like 2 other ones, but I feel like I don't have enough gardening stuff, so I might switch it up. So I bought 8 books in this haul, 7 of which were novels and 1 coloring book. So I would like to say that I have improved significantly. Would have been more if they would ship to me. When will I be reading this book? Who the hell knows? I've been trying my best to read my physical copies, so hopefully I won't be doing a haul anytime soon. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have anything you'd like to say to me. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. Hit the bell for notification. If you see a hype button, give me a hype, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!